Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Giles Brown. I'm a marketer at Ebix, and I'd love to welcome you all here today. Thank you for taking time to share your afternoon with us. We have a great presentation coming up from my colleague Ryan McMurray from Ebix and Yvette Sines from PaperClip. But before we get started, a couple of housekeeping details. We are recording this session today, so we have everybody muted. That way we get a better quality recording and we don't pick up distracting background noise and stuff like that. But we do want to hear from you. If you have questions during the presentation, please feel free to enter them into either chat or Q&A. We'll be there in the background, either answering or sharing them in the Q&A at the end so that everybody can hear the answer. If we don't get to everyone's questions, which sometimes does happen, we will have your email and we'll be able to get in touch with you via phone or email in the next day or so. You will be getting a link to this recording tomorrow. If life is good to me and I get everything done. So you'll be able to share the recording with your colleagues and review it. That being said, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Ryan McMurray from Ebix. So take it away, Ryan.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Giles, and thank you everybody for taking the time to join us today. We're extremely excited for this presentation. I'm joined, like Giles said, by Yvette Sines over at PaperClip. And we've been talking about doing a presentation for a long time for our clients and people that just know about our businesses and just don't know exactly how they fit together. And so, that's what we really wanted to talk about today is the partnership about two things fitting together like eggs and bacon, and so it's a little bit of a theme there of, two things that are complemented by each other. And so I'm going to go ahead and get into it here. And so today, really what we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that everybody's educated about our individual companies and the products and services that we offer. And then we also wanted to, dive a little bit deeper, show you how these solutions drive, and then also, of course, how they connect together. And then we'll close it out with a little bit of Q&A just to make sure that everybody's immediate questions get answered. And of course, we'll be circling back in the days to come to make sure that if you're too shy to share a question today, we pick it up later. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started. And I'm going to start off with a brief background of my company that I represent, Ebix. And actually, before I get started or get too deep into this, one of the things that I really like about just the partnership that we have with PaperClip is we're both over 30-year-old companies. We've been working together for well over 20 years. Maybe not us individually, but yeah, just our companies have really had a very strong bond. And so, really with this slide, the company background of Ebix, it's kind of speaking to that, just a long history within the financial services industry. This has been our one and only niche. It's been very kind to us. We've grown a lot and we continue to grow. We're a good mid-sized company. You can check us out on NASDAQ if you haven't really seen us there before, but just long proven history within this community, helping it grow along with us. And so, just so you all know, we do offer a wide range of products. They all stand alone very well. Today, we're going to be talking about the SmartOffice CRM and AMS solution, but we also have Winflex, which is our probably our most popular product. It's a great illustration tool. We have our Vital Sell Suite quoting solution. We offer a couple of e-app solutions for annuity and life, and then some carrier back-end systems as well. And so at the end of the day, what we're really trying to do is deliver an ecosystem where everybody can, plug and play and use the solutions that they want to use and make sure that we're making everything as easy and straight through as possible. So today, though, again, we're going to be talking about SmartOffice. And really, if I were going to break down the benefits of SmartOffice, it'd be in these three sections. One, security, something that nobody really likes to talk about, but being in the insurance industry, we know the dangers of people leaving themselves unprotected. And so with security, it's something that we take extremely, extremely seriously. We have clients, we have banking clients, credit unions, they have very stringent protocols and we have to follow those. And so we gladly do because it really helps protect us, it protects our clients and anybody that does business. So secondly, functionality, flexibility, SmartOffice, you're not going to beat us. We cover the entire team and functionality, whether you're sales, practice, or new business, commissions. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, integrated. We are very big about integrating with other solutions just so that everybody has the choice to use which solutions that they want to use. And so we're always pushing and pulling data this way and that way just to make sure that we're fitting in with you, the user, rather than you guys being forced to use a very stringent process. But talking about security, like I was saying, we do a lot of business with different banks and credit unions out there. And so that comes with very top line certification or requirements. And so we do put a tremendous amount of resources behind our data security, making sure that we have the best certifications out there possible and that we're keeping everything up to date and being on the bleeding edge, just because, again, you know, this is sensitive information that we work in, and we understand that and respect that. Now, as far as functionality, like I was saying or hinting during the previous slide, with SmartOffice, we really try to cover the entire practice. We don't want to just take care of the case managers or take care of the licensing team. We want to take care of everybody. So there's one version of the advisor, one version of the case. Everybody can plug into the one solution and know who's doing what. Nobody's stepping on toes. And so, of course, we have the basic CRM functions, calendar, contacts, notes. We can sync back and forth with Outlook with that too, snag emails on their way out. We do all the pending case management. We have carrier fees that drop in, keep everything up to date and running, commission tracking, recruit tracking, sales tracking, you name it. Of course, we also service the security side, so it is a well thought out product, or you know, we cover a lot of ground by design. And then, of course, we do offer an open API. So if there are some systems that you have in-house that you want to connect with SmartOffice, we have the solutions out there for you. And then, of course, the reason why we're here today, our partnerships, our integrations, specifically PaperClip, our longest friend in the industry, but they actually cover 3 different areas for us. They're fantastic in document management, number one, data feeds as well, and then the secure email. So I'm not going to step on all of the Vet's punchlines here, but she's going to show some really exciting stuff. And so I guess with that, what I'm going to actually do is show you what SmartOffice looks like really quickly, not too long, and then we'll hop over to Yvette and she can take care of the rest. So let's get over to SmartOffice now. So first thing, so SmartOffice web-based, log in anytime, anywhere. I'm just logged in through Chrome right here. But the main thing I was talking about is just the comprehensive nature of SmartOffice, and the way that we try to keep that in control, because somebody on the commission team logging in here is going to have different needs than somebody from the sales team. And so the way that we try to make sure that people get exactly what they want to get is through these dashboards. And this is somewhere where each user gets to come in here and essentially tell the system what's important to your day-to-day. So for me, more on the sales side, I'd want to come in here and see my calls for the day, see whose birthday is coming up, so I can have that extra little nice personal touch. Or on the right side, my my sales and marketing pipeline, straight up. Or if I'm coming in here as a case manager, I'd probably want to design something a little bit more similar to this. My cases and requirements tab, because this is where I can see all of the cases that I currently have going on through the hopper. I could see all of the follow-ups on the right side that I'm personally responsible for as a case manager, all my requirements. And then over back on the left, I have all the outstanding requirements for the entire team. So if somebody's going on vacation or a little bit backed up, we can help each other out a little bit easier there. And then, of course, I keep on saying it, but commissions, we have the finest commission module on the market. It's really good. It can stand alone. So if that's just an opportunity, we can take care of that alone too. But yeah, with the commissions, well, I'll get into that a little bit later. But let's actually search for an advisor just to keep this thing moving along. Top middle, just start typing in a last name A and D. So finding people is extremely easy. I'm just going to go to fill the advisor, and this is going to take me to his profile. And so on fill, I can see, of course, all of his basic information, name, which carriers he's appointed with over here on the left, phone numbers, addresses, emails on the right side. If I want to send him an email, this is one of our integration touch points with Outlook, probably one of the things that our users like most about us. But we are very, very closely integrated with Outlook, so you can sync both calendar and contacts back and forth, but also do what I'm showing you now, email tracking. I want to send Phil an email, click on his address, brings up a new email. I can say PaperClip rules, Phil, check it out. If I could spell, boom, I press send, and then it's going to ask me, hey, do you want to save this into the notes? I say yes, of course. And then it's going to go ahead and do the lookup. So when it does the lookup, it's going to use that email address to make sure it finds the right home, but also give me options to link it to other people's records. Maybe I want to link it to the insurance record as well. Maybe I want to link that email to a specific case. Maybe I don't want to save the attachments. So we have a lot of options here, or you can just make it go automatic and not ask you questions. But I like having the control, so I'm going to go ahead and just post that there. And so where that note actually ends up is right up top here in his notepad, this little yellow spiral notebook. So, you know, fundamental CRM stuff. But here are his notes. Here's that email I just sent. And then as it starts to go down, this is going to cover everybody in the entire team that's logging in. All these notes are date, time, and user stamps. So somebody ran an illustration through Winflex. We'll look at that next. We could see that there was a new informal case that was entered. Somebody updated a phone number. Somebody just wrote around a note, call scheduled. Everything that the team is doing flows into this one spot, so we have a great understanding of where our relationship is with Philip Anderson. Going on down the line, we have our licenses area. Really cool. This now integrates with SureLC, another one of our partners, but licenses, continuing education on the bottom left, E&Os on the bottom right, and then, of course, contracts and appointments as well. So I know I'm covering a lot. And so we can do a full SmartOffice tour if you guys hit me up later. But for now, I did talk about commission, so I do want to mention it. But so the way that we handle that, we're on Philip Anderson, and this is where you would actually build up your payment hierarchies. So whenever he writes a piece of business through ABC Life, house gets paid first, then they pay, and that comes from the carrier. Carrier also pays the advisor, but we, the house, have to pay out the supervisor. So it follows that payment hierarchy, and we also have the rates built in here. So anytime that a case goes from pending to enforce, then all the expected payments hit the system, and then as statements come in, you get to reconcile them. Big fun, but we can handle it all very easily, as easy as possible. But, and then, of course, carrier appointments on the bottom there. Let's see. Actually, a couple more things, and then I will turn it over. Winflex integration. So people usually like to see this one. Back on Phil's record, if I notice the top right, I have a bunch of buttons here. I have my PaperClip button, which the vet will show off. That appears in a couple different areas in our system, but this one, well, I'll let her tell you. And then we have the Winflex button right next to it. So when I press this is actually going to launch us over to the Winflex solution. And so this is going to carry over all of Phil, the advisor's information for us and allow us to go through the process of building an illustration, normal process. But the key is, so you go through, you do the normal Winflex illustration. And so it says imported client, you put in as much or as little data as you want. Agent info came in. But the difference is after you calculate, you have your results back here on the pre-sales area within the advisor is where that saves back. And so we're going to keep track of all of those Winflex illustrations, save that right back into the system so I can see how many open proposals I have with Phil, closed, not taken, convert to other BGAs or to a pending case for that matter. So I have all the different statuses. So one of the things I like to point out at this point is, you know, let's just identify abuse ratios. If our team's spending a lot of time with a certain advisor, but he's not placing much business, we could take some sort of action there. But not to be grim, I'm going to jump into one of my actual illustrations here. And this is one that we ran for Phil for his friend Fred. And then we have all the information that we had captured through Winflex along with a copy of the image down below. And then if I ever wanted to actually push that off to Phil again, I could actually hit this little envelope button on the top right. And this is going to kick into our Outlook integration again, where it brings up the new email to fill, what is it, and then the image linked. So it follows the whole same posting stuff, but I think that's pretty cool. Last couple of bits. After pre-sale, we actually go into pending case. We have a very long list of pending case carrier partners who send us data feeds and updates into this section, so it kind of helps out. But this is where the cases reside. I can click into any one of these cases just to show you what it looks like. It's really easy. I'm going to have on the top right the basic status and dates, information about the insured, the advisor, proposed issued class, just everything, and then of course all the underwriting requirements on the bottom. And so if you remember, just to kind of pull it back to the home screen, you're probably not even going to get to this level of detail because you can pull all that stuff up to the surface. That cases and requirements had a tab I had on my home screen was identifying all of my requirements that were due and just serving it up in the upfront. Just so you know where that came from here. Once it does go in force, it jumps over to the policies tab, which is going to be all of Phil's in-force business with us. So if you ever want to let him know that conversion dates are coming or anything else, we have an easy way of gathering that information and getting it over to him and kind of giving them an alert. So yeah, that's just a super high level SmartOffice tour. There's a lot more I could show, but I'm trying to keep it contained here. So I am actually going to go ahead and invite Yvette to take over here and show us some PaperClip goodies and how the SmartOffice integrates with their solution. So,
thanks, Ryan. All right, I'm going to share my screen here. This is always fun, right? Technology here. Okay, hopefully everybody can see my screen. Well, thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Ebex, for having me here to show you guys a little bit about the integrations with SmartOffice and PaperClip. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We partnered with Ebex, as Ryan said, I think over 20 years ago, to really create that seamless workflow, having several touch points within their agency management system, SmartOffice. PaperClip was founded, and a little bit of timeline here, PaperClip was founded in 1991 and has served many industries over the last 30 years. Several services have been introduced throughout the years to really focus on electronic document capture, management, communications, transcription, and security. We have customers that range in size from the independent agent, big IMOs, many brokerage general agencies, of course, some banks and financial firms. So our first kind of line of business and flagship service, so to speak, is our virtual client folder, also known as VCF. This is our document management solution tailored to meet industry workflows and, of course, any business need, really. It's not just in the insurance industry, any industry. Our virtual client folder really is an all-inclusive document management, new business processing, and document delivery solution accessible through SmartOffice and a simple mapping integration, which I'll kind of demonstrate that for you. As Ryan mentioned on his products, security is key, right? We have two-factor authentication, the ability to whitelist IP addresses, and PaperClip's always going through our SOC 2 certifications to ensure we have the most secure platform for all of that MPI information being stored. PaperClip's not just a storage. You're able to manage, retrieve, manipulate and edit a document. You can exchange and communicate out of the system. So it's not just your repository. And I'm sorry, I should have selected full screen real quick here. Slapping my hand. Thanks for the reminder. So also another service that we have that is a huge, widely it's very big in our services that's used is Internet Express. We also know this service as, or call it Federal Express over the internet. It is a document exchange service designed for transmitting large payloads of documentation. It's a secure transmission, sending those documents directly to a partner or carrier's workflow and we have 3 different delivery methods available. What's really great about Internet Express is that you have a tracking system that provides accountability for the exchange of those packages. Several carriers and the various departments within those carriers can receive via Internet Express. And then within our VCF virtual client folder, you can see the status of the package right at the desktop. So you have that accountability to know the date and time it was delivered. You have a tracking ID number. Should the carrier say, hey, I didn't get it? Well, yeah, you did. Here's the tracking ID number. But regardless, the sender enjoys one way, an easy click and send, sending to that third party. Really a way to streamline services. So I kind of want to take you through a quick tour here of our solution, our document management solution. It's structured just like a virtual client folder. You have your drawer within that folder, or within that drawer you have folders on the upper half of the screen here. Once I click on a folder, I see all of the documents within. I can easily add a folder manually or through the integration. I can add documents in various ways that you can import documents. This one here is a drop file list where you can easily drag and drop documents and file them in a temporary storage area. And we have batch capture where you can bring in a batch of documents and then separate them and doc type them accordingly. Lots of features here where you can quick view things, email out of the solution. You can send Internet Express, copy and paste easily and delete. And then also the icons provide an alternative to also performing some of these functions. Our search and find capabilities are exceptional at the folder or at document and folder level. Lots of metadata here that you can search against. If we hop over to SmartOffice and we're in a pending case, we've submitted everything, everything's been put in. Now we want to hop over to PaperClip to add some documents. We have this unique case ID number in SmartOffice that has been provided, and we try and match based upon that unique case ID number. Now in this case, it didn't find a match. So it's telling me, what do you want to do? You want to add a new folder. So it's going to scrape over information coming over from SmartOffice for those first 6 fields here. Policy number is not there because I don't have it. I didn't plug it in initially. But now I can indicate, okay, this is for, particular carrier, Prudential, and this is the top term, and I can add my folder. Now I'm ready to add documents. I click my add a document, drag and drop from an email or from a folder, file open browse, and on the left-hand side, I index it. And these are NailBus standard indexing doc types. Once I index it, I add my document, it shoots me back out to the desktop. Now here, if it's in good order, I've reviewed it, I can easily send via EX4, via Internet Express, exposes my address book, select my carrier, and I send it directly to that carrier's workflow. Click of a button, I'm able to do this. I've got my confirmation, and then also within my EX4 status field, I see delivered. And if I want additional tracking, in the context menu, I can select EX4 tracking. And here I'm given even more information, including that great tracking ID number that I need should they say they didn't receive it. Now let's hop back over to SmartOffice, and let's say, okay, now I got my policy number. It's been confirmed, received, I got a policy number. I'm going to go back over to PaperClip because I'm going to look at a document or I need to add something additional. So with the integration, you hop over to PaperClip and it's going to automatically detect that there is an update. So because of the mapping comes with those first 6 fields, it's going to populate that policy number for you, and I can just save it. And now going forward, it's there. So that is kind of the open for, or what we call open for mapping integration from SmartOffice over to PaperClip. Simple mapping scheme, creating that folder for you, eliminating room for error as far as, any misspelling of a name or policy number or whatever. That's going to be the same coming over from SmartOffice. And of course, a little bit of a time saver tool as well. So another line of business we have fairly new to the PaperClip family is PaperClip Mojo. Mojo is a digital transformation of data from documents, either handwriting or text, enabling 99.9% accuracy, meeting any service level agreement. So in a nutshell, essentially, PaperClip Mojo transforms your handwritten insurance applications, handwritten or text, into SmartOffice pending cases using cloud computing and crowdsourcing. So really alleviating that mundane data entry done today when you have that paper app. Today we populate about 60, a little over 60 fields, I believe, in SmartOffice. Mojo was built on 4 pillars, and we take the best of technologies first. So that collection of technologies first, and then we introduce a crowdsource for further validation to enhance the accuracy. Now, once all transcription and validation are performed, the data is then stored in our shredded data model. So just to kind of highlight a little bit about Mojo and walk you through the process here, there's lots of onboarding ramps to the Mojo service, but the most popular here is Mojo Easy. And it is a portal that when you sign on as a Mojo customer, you'll get Mojo Easy 4 in your business name. Email will be plugged in initially, it'll stay sticky after. And here is where you're in the gray area, is where you'll drag and drop a package of documents, a blob of documents. Now I want to pause here because this blob of documents can be, an app pack can contain an application, an illustration, a replacement form, anything that would require for submission to the carrier is what you can drop here as one blob, one PDF. And you can keep dropping as many packets as you want to. Mojo will allow you to send multiple. You don't have to just send one at a time. Let me start this back up again here. So the only thing that we have to apply here is a metadata, and it's the carrier. What does this packet belong to? Okay, it's American General. So it's going to highlight in green here, letting me know that it's ready to be uploaded. Now here also we have, this is our standard portal, but you can also elect to have our enhanced portal that allows you to pass through informal documents, trailing documents, a little bit extra options there for the portal in terms of processing business. So once it's highlighted in green, it's ready to be uploaded. Once it's uploaded, Mojo does its thing. Case managers are being notified. And here all the information is plugged in, automatically digitized during the Mojo service. You have your email, address, name, date of birth, gender, all that information. Pending case, your advisor, we do a lookup to plug in the advisor, beneficiary information. You have, face amount, plan name, carrier name. We'll even let you know if it's a replacement. We'll check that off if it's replacement. If a field is missing on what we're capturing through the Mojo service, in the SmartPad notes within SmartOffice, we'll let you know here what's missing. Okay, the date of birth was missing and left blank. So now you can plug that in as a requirement to go back out and get. So now you want to hop over to PaperClip. Of course, it's going to find a match because it's got the case number from SmartOffice. You've got your folder created, and now all of your documents are here and separated. A little bit of extra Mojo documents here, but you can see 4 documents separated, automatically doc typed for you. Description field there created. Maybe you've reviewed it. Everything's in good order now, ready to go in. You select your document or documents, and you can send them as a package using Internet Express, sending to that carrier's workflow, just selecting your carrier name and hitting send. Again, you get your confirmation, and you've got that tracking right at the desktop here in your context menu that you can easily refer back to. And also, of course, the status will show delivered there in the EX4 status field. Received is showing because it's coming in from Mojo, but you've got your tracking right here at the desktop. So just from this kind of video here that I just presented a little bit, you can kind of see the process of a streamlined processing and workflow, because I've utilized pretty much all of our services here from Mojo to Internet Express and our virtual client folder all as one, and tying it in with SmartOffice. So let's take it next to the next integration I want to show you is EM4, our encrypted email solution. Very simple and low cost. It's standalone, so you don't it's integrated with SmartOffice, but it's also available for sending your own encrypted emails as you need to for your business. But what's nice is it doesn't require logins or passwords. There's B2B and B2C functionality. It's simple encryption rules, 3 ways to deploy it in your office, depending upon how you send emails and what's your existing infrastructure today. PaperClip serves as that disinterested third-party audit. We're following federal and state regulations, so you can say you're HIPAA compliant. Annual subscription, no tick charges. There's additional features also, like proof of delivery, proof of readability, and now we have proof of agreement, which is kind of our take on e-signature. But it's like an I agree, and it is a binding agreement. But with the integration with SmartOffice, EM4 allows your SmartOffice letters and emails containing that confidential information that should be sent securely, allowing you to send them securely. So if I'm in a pending case in SmartOffice and I want to send my advisor a letter, a formal acknowledgement letter of the case. So I'm going to select the advisor. We're going to do a template from SmartOffice. I can select my formal acknowledgement letter. Of course, here I would have to select that I want to make sure and send secure, and I click OK. Now it's doing its thing. It's going to allow me to send, and it's going to go via email, and it's processing. Once it's processed, I will get a confirmation telling me that that's been sent. I click OK. And also within the letters and documents in SmartOffice, you can see that you've sent that formal acknowledgement letter. Now I'm going to go and play the role of the advisor. I receive my EM4 secure email notification. I click here to read the message. And now I see that formal acknowledgement letter with, of course, client name and client tax ID, NPI, needs to be secure. And it says down at the bottom, content protected by PaperClip EM4 compliant email system. And now let's say, I have Mr. Robert Joyce, and I want to give my advisor an extra 10% override for this case, because it's such a great case. It's a high net worth case. I want to give him an extra 10%. So I want to launch my own email and send my own Outlook email about this information about the 10% override. Automatically will plug in, the advisor email, the case, and I can construct my email. Are we okay with this commission agreement for an extra 10 points override? I can attach anything if I want to, or just do proof of agreement for the message only. Now with proof of agreement, I do have to ask a question or set of questions that only the recipient knows to identify the recipient. And again, I can just do the message or attachments if I had them. Then I click send, play the role of the advisor again, and I get my initial email notification. I know it's coming encrypted. I click here to read the message, and proof of agreement starts the process. So I have to answer this question before proof of agreement can start so that they know this is who I am. I consent to this as an electronic format of e-signing. I accept this. And this can be your own verbiage. And I see the initial email. Are we okay with this 10% override? I read and understand the content of the message, and I can agree or disagree. Now, once I hit agree and I submit, I get this little chime, of course, of success that everything's been completed during the e-signing event, and I have my attestation information. And this goes to both the recipient and the sender, getting the consent information about what was agreed upon, and you even see the entire, the email or that message that was sent. And here's the recipient, they receive it as well for their proof and evidence. This is also stored in the EM4 portal for you as a customer of EM4 for up to a year that you can access. So it is a true binding agreement. I mean, they're agreeing to this information here. And again, this consent information can be in your own verbiage. You can use our standard agreement to send that email securely and with a proof of some sort of a binding agreement. So you can see how easily from SmartOffice, you can send a template letter, but not just a template letter. You can create your own email and still send it securely. So with PaperClip, really, I feel has your complete suite of products, and partnered with SmartOffice, it's that seamless connection to assist agencies with workflow and efficiencies. Whether you're an agent at the, an agent or advisor out in the field using a cell phone, a tablet, or maybe you still have that stack of paper, or you're a case manager in the office trying to get business paid and in and out the door. There's several platforms that we have like Mojo Easy, EM4, or the Capture Place to deploy services like Mojo, for example, but they also can auto-file documents in VCF. So what Mojo will do, again, digitizes the data off of a form, whether handwriting or text, sends the feed over to SmartOffice to create that pending case, files your documents in VCF, your document management, that you can then check for good order. That case manager can hop back and forth from SmartOffice to VCF using Open4, the integration. Once they're done with that, everything's in good order, ready to be sent. They leverage Internet Express. Select their carrier and send it to the insurance company. What's also great about Internet Express is if you order exams or APSs from a vendor, they can also auto-file and send via Internet Express to you and file those documents automatically in your PaperClip system. So now you receive notification that you received an APS for, Joe Smith, and now you can send that at a click of a button to the carrier. Again, leveraging EM4 as needed for any template letters to your advisors, to the carriers. You can do it from a pending case. You can do it from a policy, the contact, and so on. The insurance company as well within SmartOffice. So again, I want to thank Ryan and Ebix for allowing us to showcase our services and how they integrate with their services. But Ryan, let's take some Q&A.
Sounds great. Sounds great. So let's see, Giles, did you want to?
Sure, folks. We have a couple questions there. One of them, let's see, is for Ryan, and we have a SmartOffice user who uses Winflex but typically logs in through the Winflex web interface instead of SmartOffice, and he wonders if you could show how that gets set up in SmartOffice. How does that happen so that he can use that?
Actually, just shoot me an email and I'll get you the directions right away. Oh, actually, my email address is a little bit wrong there. There's a second M after the C, but otherwise, first out last, you got me.
Whoops. We will be, by the way, for the audience, tomorrow I'll be sending out the link to the recording. I'll also be sending out contact information for Yvette and Ryan, so we'll have it then. But for the guy, Alan, who wants to know, I have your email here. So I make sure that Ryan gets
I'll get to you. I'll get to you.
Our contact information is out there as well, our email and phone numbers. So anybody can also reach us directly, right, Ryan?
That's right. That's right. So yeah, we'll get that set up. That's an easy one.
Okay, there's been a little bit of excuse me, chat in the back. Well, somebody's wondering about, is PaperClip an additional cost or is it included in your SmartOffice subscription?
They're completely third party. They are one of our closest friends, but yeah, they are a separate business. So,
yes.
Yeah, it is an additional cost.
We have our own pricing for each of our services. Again, we can certainly provide that information if you'd like to reach out. We can kind of go over your business needs and goals and see what you're looking for, and basic solutions all the way up to a full customizable type solution. So definitely, if you have further questions on that, let us know.
Cool. Okay, so there's been a little bit of chat in the QA window going on about the crowdsourcing aspect of Mojo, but I thought it was so interesting. I'll re-ask you the question so we all can, everyone can hear the answer because it's interesting. And this thread kind of starts out from Mike Carter. Is any of the handwritten recognition conducted without crowdsourcing? Does it always require crowdsourcing?
You have the option of not having a crowdsource. Yes, I think there's options where you can bring in your own crowd, you can use our crowd, or no crowd. You can turn that off.
There we go. And that addresses his next question about crowdsourcing. Okay. Next question from Crest Hurley. With both SmartOffice and PaperClip, including Mojo, is all the data encrypted at rest, whether it's being stored through the various process workflows?
Well, encrypted at rest, that would mean that it's encrypted when it's in SmartOffice. So yeah, well, everything that we do has a 128-bit encryption as far as transmitting. And I believe, yeah, I'm sure we're encrypted at rest. We have to be, just for all those certifications. So
yes, PaperClip is encrypted at rest as well.
That
absolutely.
Makes sense. Cool. Does PaperClip have existing integrations with ECM platforms such as OnBase or OpenText?
Such as, I'm sorry, what was the?
Platform ECM platforms such as OnBase or OpenText?
Not that I am aware of, but certainly I can research that a little further, or that I'm aware of, no, but certainly I can check to see if there's ever that possibility for the integration.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just a matter of getting IT departments together, and the integration from SmartOffice to virtual client folder is just a simple mapping scheme that requires some development on the side of the the person wanting to develop this to their platform, but it's very simple.
Okay.
We would probably need more information. Not sure if you're talking about an integration using our API, or if it's just a simple mapping.
Gotcha. Okay, from our good buddy Ken Lebow. Hi, Ken. He wonders, can you scan in a paperclip and use Mojo to automatically create a case in SmartOffice?
Can you scan directly into the virtual client, I'm sorry?
Mojo.
Oh, yes. Well, in order to, and for the Mojo portal, the Mojo Easy portal, it's a simple drag and drop or a file open browse. So if you've scanned something in and you have it saved on a folder on your desktop or an email, you can just scan it or directly drag it into that gray area in the portal, and then just hit upload, add your metadata, which is the carrier name, and then you just hit upload. We do have other onboarding ramps like a secure FTP. Internet Express can leverage and launch Mojo as well. So lots of onboarding ramps. It's just a matter of a discussion with what the client or the customer is looking for, what their current infrastructure is, what they're using, and certainly that's all can be discussed as far as creating a process.
Great, thanks. Is Smart Integrator used to integrate SmartOffice and PaperClip, or is it another API layer?
I am not sure. I'm just smart enough to be dangerous, so I don't know. I have no idea.
I believe we do use Smart Integrator to the extent of giving you a full-blown answer on what we do, what it is, or what we do with it. But yes, we do use Smart Integrator.
Okay, great.
And I can certainly find out. I don't know if whoever asked the question, we can certainly get you some more details or information on it. But it's through the Mojo service.
I'll share that with you.
Because, oh, never mind. I'll be quiet.
Be quiet, Ryan. Just kidding. This is just William Wong is one. He said this is his request. A friend in Hong Kong is a newly licensed insurance advisor, and I have recommended him to search if your software is available in Hong Kong. So he's shared his Gmail and stuff, so you guys can reach out to him. But I'm curious, are both of these products, SmartOffice and PaperClip, available in Hong Kong?
It might be. I know that we were going over to the Eastern market, but I forget which country it was, so I'm going to have to look into it.
Okay, so for William, we'll do some research and we'll get back to you on.
Yeah, we'll get back on that. I mean, I know our virtual client folder is accessible via, anywhere you have access to the internet and a browser like Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
But
right.
As far as all the other logistics stuff on it and can we sell there, I'd have to get back to you.
Translations and everything is a big question.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll find out. I know that
stumped us. Good question, but stumped.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. Cindy Payne wonders, would PaperClip essentially replace the document list in SmartOffice?
Well,
no.
yes, kind of,
Well,
yes. Well, yeah, because you're more specialized. I'd say that my way of answering it is, SmartOffice is a good jack of all trades. We can do generally everything, but, we like to partner with specialists like PaperClip. Like they just really have the whole file storage, virtual file cabinet thing figured out. Like, we're not going to beat them, and they also have the secure ways of sending emails and transmittals to carriers and everything like that. So yes, it can definitely be a replacement for the SmartOffice letters and documents section. So, because, you know, all that does with that is just like gives them a place where they can upload files to each record, which is important, but you do that way better. So,
well,
we have the integration to where you know, you can create the folder coming from SmartOffice. It is a structured format. We use NAILBA standard doc typing, so you've got a little bit more of a structure to PaperClip in terms of and you know, like I mentioned earlier, it's not just a repository for your documents. It's really the ability for you to go in and edit documents if you need to. You can email a missing signature page, for example. You can send that back to the client, drag and drop it back in, delete unsigned pages, rearrange pages. I mean, it's a and then you can easily click and send to the carrier. So a little bit more possibly, but yeah.
Okay. Well,
it's a great partnership, right, Ryan?
There you go.
That's right.
Cindy kind of goes on, she sort of asks, in other words, we would not to keep the docs in both places.
Correct.
Yeah, you generally choose one or the other. And so anybody that does, you know, have PaperClip, you know, you want to use PaperClip. And so the way that we do make it easy is, I'm sure Yvette showed it, was on every contact record and every advisor record and every pending case for that matter, there's a little PaperClip button where you just go to that person, press it, goes right to their folder over at PaperClip. So it's really easy. It's just,
Correct. So you would just hop over to, you would start your case in SmartOffice, you know, that'd probably be your first point of entering a case or a new business. And then you would hop over to PaperClip with that little icon, as Ryan said, with the integration, and then you can add and store your documents there. And you, like I said, you can hop back and forth from one system to another. But definitely your documents would be stored in PaperClip, but everything else, obviously like letters and all that, would probably be coming out of SmartOffice and stored there.
Okay. Seems like looks like one more question just popped up. Crest Hurley wonders, for the document distribution to carriers, are you already working with all life carriers, or is that still a work in progress?
Is this for, I'm assuming he's talking about the Mojo service. Yes, we have about 13 plus carriers that we work with, and all of them basically in the pretty much a lot of the big players that you'll see. And then as far as Internet Express, yes, you'll see a lot of the big players as well, whole list of carriers that you can send to, and to various departments. It's not just new business. You can send to the licensing, you can send to policy service, different departments that you can send to, different lines of business. Some will accept, you know, the disability, the long-term care. You have your tracking right there at the desktop. But yes, both Mojo and Internet Express, and we can certainly send over a list of the carriers for you so that you can see who are subscribers to the service or who we have in the library for Mojo.
Great, thanks. Christy Geis wonders, is this service available in Canada or just the US?
Well, yeah, SmartOffice is certainly available in Canada with French translation.
Oh my.
Same.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, I think pretty much the same with us as well. I think it's something that we can certainly provide in Canada.
Great. Oops. There you go. So it looks like.
Great questions.
Yeah, really interesting. So for now, I think we've covered all the questions we've got so far. So folks, you know, if you have any more, please feel free to, we have a few more minutes. But I'm going to ask you guys, while we're waiting for those last questions, you know, kind of your final words before we wrap it up for the day. If either of you want to go first?
Ryan?
Well, you know, we're just really happy to have great partners like PaperClip. As you all could see, the solutions work really well together, which is why we have our theme there. And it's just everybody kind of complementing each other, doing what they're best at, and letting you all choose, you know, your lane or, you know, your path. And so it's just a really good, positive ecosystem. You know, we have a lot of great partners, and PaperClip is one of the chief among them. So we're just thank you, Yvette, for joining us today. Stacy, you as well. And Giles, thanks for putting this all together.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Thank you, EBIX, for allowing us to showcase again our services. And, you know, it's just all about being efficient. You know, I think last year we everybody ran into a little bit of a, what do I do? A panic mode. And I think it's, now you got to rethink some of your processes and how you submit business to the carriers. And I think PaperClip services really will allow you to streamline and really have one way of doing business. And again, like partnerships with SmartOffice, I mean, they're good at what they do. We're good at what we do, and that's why we partner with them. I can't say it any better than Giles did. Some things in life just go great together, and that's SmartOffice and PaperClip.
There you go. So there's one more question that came up, and the question is, can you name a few insurance companies? And I'm guessing they mean carriers that PaperClip supports that's on your list.
You mean like for Internet Express, for Mojo?
Well, Anna Johnson, who posed the question, maybe you can clarify what you're interested in, and certainly we can reach out. We can have Tracy.
Yeah, I'll send our data feeds as far as carrier pending case feeds. I can email those over to you, Anna, so you have them. I believe that's what you mean for us.
Yeah, I mean, we have, and I was just pulling up my list here, but we have some of the big players, you know, like I said, American General, Prudential, Protective, Lincoln Financial. I don't know what this is.
SmartOffice stuff, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank. But several. I mean, here's a list of some of our carriers that you can see on Internet Express that we do business with. In addition to the various departments within those carriers for Internet Express. And anything here that you see labeled as a Mojo carrier, these are the carriers that we can process through the Mojo service, through a program that we have, BGA. It's called the BGA program. So, you know, again.
She did say Mojo.
Yeah, she did say,
okay, Mojo. So we have all of these carriers on the right-hand side, Allianz, American General, AXA, John Hancock, Legal, Lincoln and Legal, that would be New York as well. Mutual of Omaha, North American, Pacific Life East, you know, several of the big players in here, certainly that you can process through the Mojo service. And in addition to some life, we've just recently delved into the MedSup market, and we have a list of MedSup carriers too that we can process through the Mojo service.
Crest is wondering if you can share that grid. Is that something that you'd be comfortable? Like I could attach it to the email tomorrow.
Sure.
If you're comfortable. Okay, yeah, I'll get that. So Crest, yeah, we'll make sure that we'll link to that in the email tomorrow. So
yeah, I'll send it over to you, Giles.
We try. Kathy Maynard wonders, will the carriers take the electronic signature from PaperClip?
At this time, no, but we're in big discussions with a lot of carriers. We're really taking that push to the next level. I would say a customer is really going to drive that force to get these carriers to be on board with accepting the POA as a true wet signature, you know. So yeah, I mean, we would be looking forward to having a customer help drive that force with us. So, but yes, we are in discussion with lots of carriers today. I can probably get an update on anything that we've done so far. I know my VP of Sales, Susie Tuck, has been handling a lot of that carrier conversation. So they understand it. They know the process. I think it's just sometimes probably some of the legal, you have to go through legal to get everything approved. So
yeah,
we'll get
complex process. Let's see. Okay, we got a few more minutes. We've covered all our questions. So I think at this point, we'll be in touch with those people that have asked specific questions that we didn't get to today via email or phone.
Yeah.
We want to thank you all for your time and your great questions. And they're fabulous. So you'll be seeing the email from us tomorrow with the link to the recording, as well as the grid of carriers, et cetera. And thank you so much. We'll bid you a good afternoon. We'll give you back 3 minutes of your day. So on that,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.